We have Carlos Scott actually in studio to kind of talk about how this could go down in terms of damage control. He's a crisis expert at Envision Marketing. Thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you for having me.
So this story is more complicated than just a slap in the face.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
I think a lot of people would say this is one of the most beloved men on the planet.
We would all say that.
Yeah.
We would all say that, and we'd also say that he's one of the most respected men for being that. And he's always been first class, high character, moral value guy. And so for him to act this way, to me, it's definitely a cry out that something is deeper than that. But personally and professionally, I feel like that was Will Smith, the husband, that slapped Chris Rock, the comedian, defending his wife.
Does that justify his actions?
It doesn't justify it, but you got to take into account, you know, what they've gone through over the last kind of year or so with, I don't even want to bring up, you know,
the entanglement.
Yes. And so from that, and then, you know, this is the pressure of winning the Oscar, but more importantly, that's his wife. And, you know, and we don't know how many nights she's cried at home about dealing with, I have 6 sisters, and I have an ex-wife who actually dealt with alopecia, and that was very emotional for her. So for Will, at some point, I just feel like it was a breaking point of all of those things, not to minimalize it or excuse it, but just trying to contextualize it.
Right.
And for him, I think in that moment, that was all he felt to do.
But do we live in a culture where we will allow for context in situations like this? You know, cancel culture has been something that has been much talked about. It would be challenging for many people, I think, to imagine a world without Will Smith.
Right.
But at the same time, can we take somebody who we know has this reputation and track record of being such an amazing, not only professional, but human?
Right.
Somebody who is generous with his time, somebody who was kind. And then he has this glaring moment that is in poor taste, is in poor action. I mean, he's such an example to so many kids and grown-ups, frankly.
Right.
And to say, you know what, we know you're going through something, let's talk about it.
Yes.
Can we do that?
I think we can, and especially now, it's more, because of we're dealing with the mental health being more agreeable to talk about.
Yeah, it's not as taboo.
Especially within the African-American community. So now it's more, hey, you know, I went to see a therapist, or me and my wife went to counseling, and it's not so much, you know,
what's going on?
I think now, if he were to come out and his team and say something along those natures, I think that would help the transition. But I also feel like, from a media crisis standpoint, hopefully they reached out to Chris's team last night to start that, because there needs to be a private apology, but on top of that, a public apology, because he slapped them in public. So I think that apology should also be in public. And then the quicker they do that, the quicker this thing can move on, because no one's about to cancel one of the biggest stars on this planet, Will Smith. That's not going to happen. What
would you consult him in if you were advising him, if he was your client?
That would have been the first thing it's like, hey, we need to have a talk afterwards, because we got to address this, and we have to do it in 2 folds. Privately, just man to man. This doesn't have anything to do with the actor, comedian. It's man to man. Hey, I apologize for letting my emotions get the best of me. And we don't know what kind of relationship they had previous, where Chris might have felt comfortable that he could joke with. You know, we just don't know. We don't know
enough about the history of their relationship.
Right.
But what about Chris Rock? I mean, will there be a double standard where Will Smith gets a pass because he is such a huge star? Chris Rock clearly took it like a man and didn't flinch, really.
He took it so well, I thought it was part of the bit.
I think a lot of people did.
I really did. Yeah. And, you know, kudos to Will Packer and Shayla Cowan, who did a great job producing that last night. I actually, to be perfectly honest, I thought it was a bit until I saw the emotion on
Chris's face.
Well, the emotion on Jada's face, and then even Will and just the other people around. I said, oh, this isn't, you know. And so, but yeah, I think Chris Rock, he should have got an immediate Oscar afterwards, because for him to on international TV, for crying out loud, But he handled like the professional that he is. I mean, he's a comedian. That's what led him to feel comfortable to make that joke.
But what should he say now? Because a lot of people might think, you don't know Will Smith anything. You don't even have to forgive him. Or you could, what would be the next step for Chris Rock?
I mean, for Chris Rock, it's kind of hard to apologize for you being slapped, But they hired Chris Rock. Anybody that hired Chris Rock to do a monologue, he's going to make jokes. So, you feel me? So, I mean...
There's no explanation needed from Rock.
Yeah.
Yeah. I want to say thank you to you, Carlos. Thanks for coming in the studio in person. Again, a lot of layers to this story, and a lot of adults going to be having to break down to their kids that it's not right to do this. And okay, let's go ahead and move on to the next stories that we're bringing you after this break.